Do you ever wonder why lawyers write in those weird Roman numbers? Ever get confused looking at a clock face that numbers the hours with I, 2, 3? Welcome to my channel. Here are 8 reasons Roman numerals matter. 1. Origins in pre-Roman Italy. Before Rome's rise, the Etruscans inhabited central Italy in the first millennium BCE. Their numeral system appears to have been based on tally marks and specific symbols. Early Etruscan inscriptions from the 8th to 6th century BCE show symbols like for 5 and for 10. These influenced the Romans' later choices of I. 5 and x2, adoption and early Roman forms. By the 7th century BCE, early Romans began using I for 1, V, or a rotated V shape for 5 and X for 10. These choices reflected both practicality. Tally marks were a natural way to keep track of numbers and show their values. And echoes of Etruscan glyphs show how the Etruscans influenced the Romans' cultural development. 3. The classical refinement. By the late Republic and early Empire, the system had crystallized around 7 symbols. Tally systems are intuitive, so it's not surprising that I, V, X, L, C, D, and M became the Roman numerals we know. Each symbol represented a specific value. Inscriptions show the system's evolution. At first, Romans repeated symbols to add values: 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 7 for 7, 8 for 8. But there was little consistency on 4. Sometimes it was 4, often a liner for marks. This additive notation worked fine up to 59, but when dealing with larger numbers, writing out 100 would take 20 strokes of the stylus. 4. Tools of calculation. The Roman abacus, known as apsis computi, helped calculate large numbers. Merchants and engineers could quickly add and subtract using its grooves for units. 5s, 10s, 50s, hundreds, etc. For more complex calculations, scribes wrote them out on wax tablets or ostraca, which were pieces of pottery. However, the lack of a zero or a place value system made arithmetic cumbersome without a calculator. 5. Medieval transformation and standardization. After Rome fell in the 5th century CE, Latin continued as the language of learning and administration. Roman numerals persisted in charters, liturgical texts, and scholarly works throughout the early Middle Ages. They were also used in business accounts until the Renaissance. Manuscripts show regional variations. Some monks wrote for 4/4 on clocks, still seen today, and used inconsistent subtractive pairs. Other scribes introduced symbols. For example, parentheses to multiply by 1,000 to write out large numbers. 6. Why Roman numerals matter. Roman numerals are used in timepieces and clocks. Many traditional clock faces display hours I12 in Roman numerals. Using 4 instead of 4 on clock faces is a stylistic convention dating back to medieval artisans who wanted visual symmetry. 7. Numbering systems. Copyright dates in film end credits often show the year in Roman numerals. E. G. Mekensixiv for 1984. Monarchs and Popes. Henry VIII. Pope John Paul II. Sporting events. Super Bowl 24. Olympic Games 27. Books and outlines. Preface pages I, 2, 3. Main chapters I, 2, 3, 8. Reasons Roman numerals matter. Roman numerals are still taught to students in many countries as part of early schooling They help reinforce historical literacy, understanding the past through artifacts, traditions, and languages. They appeal to our aesthetic sense of history and heritage. Decorative art, jewelry, and tattoos often use Roman numerals for dates and names. They provide a clean, timeless look for inscriptions and titles. 9. Conclusion. From humble tally marks in Etruscan villages to the monumental inscriptions of the Roman Empire, the development of Roman numerals reflects both the practical needs and the artistic sensibilities of an evolving civilization. Although largely supplanted in everyday calculation by the Arabic system, Roman numerals persist as symbols of tradition and endurance. Whether marking the hours on a clock tower, denoting a queen's regnal number, or adding classical flair to a film credit, their presence reminds us of the Romans' lasting imprint on Western culture. Thanks for watching this episode. If you would like to watch another episode, please click the link on screen.